If you get injured while you're participating in a sport, can you file a lawsuit? Well, the short answer is it depends. There's a concept in the law called the assumption of risk. Anytime you engage in sports activities, you're going to assume a certain level of risk. Perfect example was a case that I read last night before I was going to sit down and prep videos today. Was a situation where a couple of friends were out golfing and a golfer hit a ball, and it was a mistaken shot, and it hit another golfer in the eye and injured him, and it adversely affected his eyesight going forward. And he was a doctor, so he sued the other doctor because it was going to affect his ability to earn a living. The court ultimately ended up dismissing the case because when you participate in a sport like golf, you have to expect that there's going to be golf shots that are, you're going to slice, you're going to hook, it's going to go in the woods, it's whatever. And those are certain risks that you're going to take. You play football, you're going to get hit while you're on the field. You play hockey, you're going to get hit. You play baseball, you're going to get hit with a baseball. You play softball, you're going to get hit with the softball, you're going to get run into. You play soccer, same sort of thing. You're going to get tripped, you could break your ankle. That being said, if somebody does something outside the context of the rules that is, intentional, reckless, really off the charts in terms of behavior, that is a situation where the assumption of risk doctrine doesn't apply. What am I talking about? Well, with the golfers, had that other golfer who got hit in the eye walked over to the guy that hit him with the golf ball and hit that golfer with his golf club, you bet your last dollar that he could have sued him for getting hit with the golf club. Many years ago in the NFL, there was a situation where there were defensive teams that were placing bets on bounties where they were trying to injure other players, and they would hit guys when they were out of bounds. That's a situation where it's reckless. I could very easily prove that it was reckless. And if somebody, hit another player when they were out of bounds and was called for a late hit and it tore their ACL or broke their ankle or something like that, that is a reckless act. That is not an assumed risk during the course of the game where somebody just normally tackled another player in the game and he broke his ankle during the game. Everybody knows you play football, you're going to get hurt from time to time. It's just natural. It's part of the sport. But there are certain risks that you do not assume. The other situation too is if the facility isn't maintained very well, but that's a premises liability situation. And that's something else that, they have to have notice of. They have to have an opportunity for the ground, the area that you're playing the game in, to be corrected, and then you can file suit against the property owner at that point in time. Something that would come to mind with that would be like if you're skiing and there's a tree stump in the middle of the run, and that tree stump had been there for a season. Well, that really shouldn't be in the middle of one of your runs. And if your ski gets caught on it and you end up, fracturing your leg because you hit the tree stump, you're going to sue the ski resort. And despite the fact that you bought a ticket that says you're assuming the risk, that's not a risk that you're assuming. They've actively engaged in an activity that's made a dangerous condition on that property. So, long story short, you get injured in a sports activity, you should give us a call, talk to us. We'll see if we can evaluate it for a situation where you could file a lawsuit if you've been seriously injured. It's adversely affected your ability to earn a living. It's put you out of work for a lengthy period of time or something like that. And, really, please understand that we are filing a lawsuit to collect from an insurance carrier. We're not taking money out of people's pockets. I always say to clients, think of how much you've paid in insurance premiums over the course of your lifetime. Do you really have a bad idea or a bad feeling about taking money back from an insurance carrier? Most people don't mind filing lawsuits when they understand that it's insurance that's involved.